Let me share something that might sound completely backwards at first. When a man truly sees you as the one, he doesn't necessarily start treating you better in the way most people expect. I know, it sounds strange, but stay with me because what I'm about to explain completely flips what most people think about how guys show love. He doesn't treat you better, he treats you differently. And so many women miss this because they're looking for the wrong signs. They're waiting for more flowers, longer texts, grand romantic gestures, fancy dinners, or public displays of affection. But the guy who's serious, he's showing up in ways that don't look romantic on the surface at all. Sometimes, to the outside eye, it even looks kind of ordinary or boring. If you've ever felt confused about where things are going in a relationship, or wondered why some connections feel real while others feel like a guessing game, this is exactly why. When a man decides you're his person, something inside him shifts. His whole presence, the way he exists around you, changes. Not louder, not flashier, just subtly different. And today, we're going to explore what actually happens when a man locks into a woman, when she stops being someone and becomes the one in his mind. Not the movie version, not the romanticized version, but the real version that actually matters in life. Before diving deeper, I want to be completely honest with you. If you're watching this, you're not here to waste time or play games. You want the truth. You want to see what's actually happening behind the scenes, in the real emotional work, the unseen side of love. So I'm going to be direct. No fluff, no feel-good cliches, just the reality of how men behave when they emotionally and mentally commit. Here's the thing, men don't announce it. There's no grand speech, no moment of truth where he sits down and tells you, "I've decided it's you." Instead, it happens quietly. You notice it in actions, priorities, small habits, little shifts in behavior that make everything feel more secure. And if you learn what to watch for, it becomes obvious. So let's break down what men actually do when a woman moves from being someone they're dating to the person they want in their life. First, he stops trying to impress you and starts trying to understand you. In the early stages, a man is on display. He's charming, funny, exciting. He's showing his best self, telling the stories that make him look interesting, charming, and appealing. He's putting effort into being seen as desirable, and that feels good. It's exciting to be pursued. But when a man sees you as the one, that performance fades. Not because he's bored, not because he checked out, but because he's being genuine. He asks deeper questions, the ones that matter. He notices your quirks, your moods, the little things that make you uniquely you, the things most people ignore. He doesn't shy away from what's messy or imperfect. He leans in, trying to understand it. When a man is casually dating, his questions are about keeping things fun, keeping you interested. But when he's serious, he wants to understand your mind, your heart, your needs, your triggers. Conversations shift from light and playful to deep and meaningful. He's no longer trying to entertain you, he's trying to know you, and that's the real difference. This can feel strange because it's not as flashy as the early excitement, but that's the point. He's building a foundation, not chasing a moment. He's memorizing details, connecting dots, remembering things you said weeks ago, and showing it in small but meaningful ways. For example, if you casually mention that being late frustrates you because of childhood experiences, a man who's casual might forget it in a few days. A man who sees you as the one, he adjusts his behavior without needing reminders. He shows up on time, not to impress you, not because he was told, but because he understands you on a deeper level. He's creating a map in his mind of who you are, what you care about, and how to make you feel valued. Another major shift is how he shows his real self. In the early stages, most men hide the messy parts of their life. They don't want to show stress, vulnerability, frustration, or uncertainty. They present a polished, picture-perfect version. But once he decides you're the one, he lets you in. He lets you see the tired, stressed, messy, or worried version of him because he trusts you. That trust is huge. It only comes when a man believes you're safe, that you're not going anywhere. You become someone he can lean on, someone he can be himself with completely. Another thing that changes is how he aligns his life with yours. Not superficially, but deeply. When a man sees you as the one, your needs, your life, your future become part of his thinking. He starts planning with you in mind. A casual relationship, you're a side note in his plans. Serious, you're central. He considers how choices affect you. Jobs, trips, moves, decisions big or small. Sometimes he even accidentally lets it slip in conversation because in his head, you're already part of what's coming. He's not testing or trapping you. He's naturally including you in his mental blueprint for life. This isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistency, thoughtfulness, and genuine integration. He thinks, if she's going to be part of my world, how do I build a life that works for both of us? And that's a huge, unmistakable sign that he's emotionally invested. He's no longer living in the moment with you. He's imagining a future together. Small details give this away too. He casually references future plans, holidays, trips, or family events, assuming you'll be there, not as a guess, but because in his mind, you're already woven into the story. A man does not start shaping his life around a woman unless he has already decided she is not temporary. That decision happens internally long before it is ever spoken. One of the clearest ways this shows up is in how he thinks about you even when you are not physically present. Imagine he is out with his friends and a situation comes up where they want to do something spontaneous. If he is only casually seeing you, he will go along with whatever he wants and maybe mention it to you later. But when you are the one, something changes in his thinking. He pauses. He considers how you might feel. Not because you control him, not because he is afraid of you, but because your feelings matter to him now. Your perspective carries weight. He may text you, ask your opinion, or casually check in, not to ask permission, but because your voice is now part of his internal decision process. In his mind, big choices are no longer just his. They are shared, even if no one has said that out loud yet. Some people misunderstand this and think it means a man is losing himself or giving up his independence, but that is not what is happening. This is not weakness. This is a man choosing partnership. Life feels fuller to him when you are included, so he includes you. When a man starts filtering his decisions through the question, how does this affect us? That is not him shrinking. That is him stepping into something real. You can see this clearly when it comes to major life choices. Think about decisions like buying a car, moving to a different place, or changing jobs. A man who is only casually involved will tell you about these things after he has already made up his mind. The decision is done and you are informed. A man who sees you as the one brings it up while he is still thinking it through. He wants to hear what you think. He considers your schedule, your comfort, your goals, and your needs. He does not move forward without looping you in, not because he needs approval, but because he sees you as a partner whose life is connected to his. When you are not an afterthought but a central part of his thinking, it tells you everything you need to know about where he is emotionally. His future planning includes you by default. That means in his mind, you already belong there. Another powerful shift happens in how he handles conflict. Let's be honest, most men have strong egos. We like being right. We do not enjoy losing arguments. In the early stages of dating or in relationships where a man is not fully committed, that ego usually runs the show. When there is a disagreement, the focus is on winning, proving a point, protecting pride, or refusing to back down. But when a man sees you as the one, the goal of conflict changes completely. He is no longer trying to win the argument. He is trying to protect the relationship. That difference may sound small, but it changes everything. Instead of thinking, how do I prove I am right? He starts thinking, how do we get through this without damaging what we have? He stops needing the last word. He becomes uncomfortable with distance. Silence bothers him more than admitting fault. Even if he gets upset or needs space, he does not disappear emotionally. He comes back. He reaches out. He says things like, can we talk this through? Or I do not want this to turn into something bigger. What he is really saying is that you matter more than his pride. That is not a temporary behavior. That is a mindset shift from me versus you to us versus the problem. When that shift happens, arguments feel different. They still hurt sometimes. They are still uncomfortable, but they no longer feel dangerous. They do not feel like they might end everything. They feel like obstacles you are working through together. And that feeling of safety is one of the strongest signs of real commitment. Another thing you will notice is that he stops keeping score. In unhealthy or casual relationships, people often bring up old mistakes during fights, stacking them like evidence. You did this last month, you said that last year. When a man sees you as the one, that behavior fades, not because he forgets, but because he is no longer collecting reasons to hold against you. In his mind, you are on the same team, and you do not keep score against your teammate. Even when he is frustrated, he stays focused on the current issue instead of dragging the past into it. That shows emotional maturity and long-term thinking. You will also notice a change in how he apologizes. Early on, or with men who are not serious, apologies are often about ending the fight quickly. A simple sorry, can we move on now? But when a man sees you as the one, his apologies shift toward understanding. He will say things like, I am sorry I hurt you. I did not realize it would affect you that way. Help me understand so I do not do it again. That difference matters. One apology shuts the conversation down. The other opens it up. One is about making discomfort go away. The other is about learning how to do better. When a man wants to understand not just what went wrong, but why it hurt you, that is someone who is thinking long term. He knows he plans to stay, so he wants to grow with you, not just get past the moment. Another major sign is that he becomes steady even when nothing exciting is happening. This is where you can clearly separate men who are serious from men who are only chasing a feeling. Anyone can be amazing when everything is new. Anyone can be romantic when there is excitement and novelty. But when life settles into normal routines, that is when real commitment shows itself. A man who sees you as the one does not disappear when things feel ordinary. He does not pull away when the honeymoon phase fades. He does not start searching for another rush. He stays. Because real love is not built on constant highs. It is built on stability. When a man is only attracted or casually interested, his effort rises and falls with his emotions. When he feels excited, he shows up. When he feels bored, he pulls back. But when he is serious, his effort becomes consistent. He does what he says he will do. He follows through. He shows up without being chased, reminded, or hinted at. Being there for you becomes part of who he is, not something he negotiates based on mood. Consistency is not flashy. It does not feel like fireworks. It feels normal, predictable, sometimes even boring. Because of that, many people mistake it for a loss of interest. They think he is trying less or losing feelings. But what is really happening is that he has stopped performing and started being real. He is no longer trying to win you. He is choosing to be with you. And that shift is everything. Consistency builds trust. Consistency creates safety. Consistency allows you to relax instead of constantly wondering where you stand. Think of it this way: excitement grabs attention. Consistency holds the heart. A man does not stay steady with a woman he is unsure about. If he is uncertain, he keeps options open and effort flexible. But when he is sure, he becomes reliable, not to prove anything, but because in his mind, the decision has already been made. You are part of his life now, part of his routine, part of his daily reality. And when you become that embedded in a man's world, when he doesn't have to consciously think about whether to show up because showing up is just part of how he operates, that's when you've moved from someone he's casually seeing to someone he's truly committed to. The steady nature of this kind of love shows up in multiple ways. Early on, or with men who aren't serious, emotions swing all over the place. One day he's texting constantly, making plans, showering you with attention. The next day he's distant, quiet, barely responsive, and you're left wondering what changed or what you did wrong. But when a man sees you as the one, that roller coaster flattens. His mood toward you becomes stable, not dull, not uninteresting, just consistent. You stop guessing or overanalyzing his behavior because you can rely on his emotional steadiness. His affection doesn't spike and then vanish. It's present, reliable, and predictable. That consistency is what allows you to actually build something lasting. Because real love isn't measured by bursts of excitement. It's measured by being steady through the ordinary, through life's ups and downs. Women are often taught to look for intensity, passion, the guy who seems to need you, the drama and emotional highs that feel exciting. And I get it. Those feelings feel good. They feel like love. But intensity isn't a sign of stability. Passion doesn't guarantee commitment. A man who can't live without you one day might decide he's fine without you the next. But a man who shows up steadily, day after day, week after week, even when life is ordinary and nothing is flashy, is the one who truly means it. Steadiness takes a conscious choice. It takes commitment. It's the behavior of someone who's already made his mind up, someone who isn't changing his dedication based on temporary feelings. That consistency carries over into communication too. With men who are only casually interested, contact is random. Texts and calls happen when they feel like it, when it's convenient or when they need something. But when a man sees you as the one, communication becomes reliable, steady, and predictable. Not obsessive, not constant, just consistent enough that you know he's thinking about you. Even a short text, a small call, or a simple check-in becomes a rhythm, and that rhythm creates security. You no longer have to wonder if he'll reach out. You know he will, and that certainty is what peace in a relationship feels like. Steadiness also means staying present even when life is messy. Challenges happen: work, stress, family responsibilities, personal struggles, health issues, and in casual relationships, that's when men tend to disappear. Oh, I'll deal with this and check in later. But a man who's committed doesn't pull away. He leans in. Life may get complicated, but he doesn't vanish. He shares what's happening, lets you support him, keeps the connection strong, even when it's hard. That kind of behavior shows he isn't here just for fun or convenience. He's here for all of it, the easy parts and the difficult parts. And here's what you need to understand. When a man sees you as the one, it doesn't look like the movies. There are no dramatic declarations, no grand gestures, no overly romanticized moments. It's quieter, subtler, but far more meaningful. He wants to know you, not just impress you. He includes you in decisions before they are finalized. He focuses on fixing problems rather than winning arguments. He remains steady, even when life isn't thrilling. These things don't give you butterflies, but they are what really matter. Anyone can be exciting for a short time, but showing up consistently, steadily, day after day proves he has made a choice and is sticking with it. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. This kind of commitment doesn't happen because you chased him. It doesn't happen because you proved yourself, played it cool, or followed some strategy. It happens naturally when a man meets a woman who knows herself, who isn't performing or bending to get attention, who isn't auditioning for love. He sees her and something clicks. It doesn't need convincing. It doesn't require effort to chase. He just starts showing up in these ways because that's what commitment looks like when it's real. So if you're trying to figure out if a man sees you as the one, stop waiting for grand announcements. Don't focus on what he says, watch what he does. Is he trying to know you or just impress you? Is he including you in his plans and decisions? When conflicts happen, is he trying to win or trying to fix things? Is his effort steady or does it spike and drop? The answers to those questions will tell you everything. Real commitment doesn't hide, doesn't play games, doesn't leave you guessing. It shows up clearly, consistently, and without confusion. You may have wanted to hear a more dramatic or romantic version of love, but the real version, the version that actually helps you, looks different. It's quiet, steady, and deliberate. A man who likes you comes and goes. A man who has decided on you stays. A man who likes you shows up when convenient. A man who has decided on you shows up, period. A man who likes you excites you. A man who has decided on you makes you feel safe. And safety is what allows you to build a real life with someone. Pay attention, watch actions, not words. Notice if he demonstrates the 4 things we talked about: wanting to understand you, making decisions with you in mind, prioritizing fixing problems over winning arguments, and remaining steady even when life is ordinary. Value yourself enough not to settle for someone who hasn't decided, because you are not an option, you are not a maybe. You are the one. And the right man, the one who truly sees that, will show it every day, imperfectly, but consistently, steadily, clearly. Not because he says the right words, but because he acts. Actions require effort, intention, and commitment. Stop listening to words and start watching behavior. The man who sees you as the one won't leave you guessing. He won't leave you confused. He won't make you question where you stand. He will make it clear through his daily actions, his steadiness, and the way he shows up. And when you find that, when you find a man who does these things naturally, without prompting, without chasing, without reminders, hold on to him. That is rare. That is real. That is what lasts.